to hold the mic at this distance. Thank you all for coming. Good evening. Welcome to NMCOG's Annual Meeting. I'm Steve Themelis, Chair of NMCOG. I served on the NMCOG Council since 2004, and I'm proudly with you all tonight. We are one of 13 regional planning agencies, and members include Raitt, Chelmsford, Raitt, Dunstable, Lowell, Pepperell, Tewksbury, Tingsboro, and Westwick. NMCOG was formed in 1963, which means that we reached the milestone year of 60 years, serving the greater Lowell region. I first joined the Council of Selectmen representing Pepperell, and now represent the town's Economic Development Advisory Committee. I've seen this organization grow and be well positioned in understanding of the needs of our communities in the region. So we all think that to be a true fact. I am currently a member of the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy of SEDS committee, which is a group that meets quarterly and helps guide important growth initiatives which lead to retaining and attracting businesses, building more homes, increasing transportation options, and more funding and resources for our communities and region. The SEDS is one example where NMCOG leads and demonstrates NMCOG's ongoing commitment to supporting member communities with comprehensive planning and strategic initiatives, including in transportation, digital equity, regional housing, economic development, and climate resilience. Tonight's program will be a powerful example of NMCOG's increasing voice in the region. We will be conversating with some of our top regional leaders about economic growth and prosperity. We all benefit from these discussions, you can imagine. What we learn, what we share, and what we apply, we give back to our local boards, committees, and organizations. First, I'd like to acknowledge the work of the NMCOG team. Without them, none of this would be possible. So please give a round of applause for our NMCOG Chair. And tonight, we have a room full of people who understand the importance of NMCOG in the future of our region. We also do it by a number of elected and appointed officials who I would like to recognize. And if I mispronounce anybody's name, tabs on me. But the only problem is we don't have a bar. I don't have any money in my wallet. We have Julie Kalanka, Superintendent of Lowell National Historical Park, National Park Service. Julie, thank you. Senator Kennedy's office. I don't know which page is. Thank you. Greater Lowell Community Foundation, Jay. I'm sure the person too, but I think you apologize for that in advance. What I'd like to do here is kind of go through our council members that are here representing NMCOG from the membership cities and towns. So we'll start with Bill Raitt, and we have Chris Favreau, Board of Selectmen. Chris? Excuse me, Tina. I'm sorry, Tina. My eyes. Dina Favreau. Dina, please raise your hand. Thank you. First time we met. Marlise Henderson's on the planning board. Marlise, with us tonight. She's the clerk for NMCOG. Moving on to Chelmsford, we have Select Board Pat Wolsters. Pat represents the planning organization. She's a representative there. She's also the past chair of NMCOG. Anita Tananai. Okay. She's the planning board, and Douglas Bruce is the alternate. From Drake, we have Heather Santiago Hutchins. And planning board, Michael Castana. And Phil Tebow, vice chairman, is Phil. From Dunstable, Ron Pickle, Board of Selectmen. I know Jim Wilkie is here from the planning board. Jim, thank you. Jim's our assistant clerk. And Jason Silver, the town administrator, is the alternate. From Lowell, we have Wayne Jennis, councilman. Wayne, where are you? Okay. And of course, Jerry Frechette. Jerry's on the planning board. From Lowell, we also Jerry's on treasurer. Thank you. Excited, Jerry. Awesome. From Pepperell, Chuck Walkovich, Board of Selectmen. And also our assistant treasurer, Chuck. And planning board is Brian Keating. course, myself, Chair. We also have Andrew McLean, he's our town administrator. Andrew. From Tewksbury, looking around, Jane Wellman was our past chair. She's the Board of Selectmen on the council. We have Jim Duffy and also Alex Lauer from Tewksbury. Tingsboro, Ron Cohane. Ron's Board of Selectmen. Kimberly O'Brien, Planning Board. Jen. And Matthew Lawrence, the alternate. And finally, Westford, we have Chris Barrett, he's the Board of Selectmen. We have Joan Coteau, she's the Planning Board rep. And I know we have Jason Silver here. Jason Silver, yeah, James Silver. Board of Selectmen, and NMCOG Chair. James, sorry about that. So thanks to all our council members. Appreciate you all being here tonight. And the last thing I'd like to mention is that please enjoy your evening. And thank you for being here. We're doing our best to bring new NMCOG into the future with Jenny leading the helm. And I mentioned her name, and I'm pleased to introduce Jenny Raitt, Executive Director up to the podium. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. And thank you all for being here tonight. I am so excited that we made it here this evening. It's no small feat. And I just want to say hello to everybody. Thank you so much to the town of Tingsboro for this absolutely beautiful space. And to Ron and other members of the Select Board for always welcoming us here in the town. So thank you all for being here. I'm thrilled to celebrate with you. Last year we celebrated our 60th anniversary, and of course we're 61 now, but you know, it's still a milestone year for us. So, I'm honored to reflect on the incredible year we've had. I'll admit it's a little bit more than a year that I've put into this presentation, so it seems like you saw something that happened more than a year ago, it's because it did. Because we had quite a lot happen in more than a year. And so my goal is to chronicle that progress and also to outline some of the exciting things that are coming in the future. First, of course, I just want to recognize and thank all of the council members for their service, as well as the past council members who have served. Thank you so much for everything, for your support and your ongoing contributions to the agency, which are numerous. And particularly over the last couple of years, really stepping up and leading in to a lot of the opportunities that have come forth. I just can't thank the team of NMCOG enough. You all are amazing. Could you please stand and be recognized? Really phenomenal. And the amount of care that went into planning this evening is also really amazing. So I appreciate everything that you're doing. And lastly, I want to thank the panelists who are going to welcome up here for a great panel. I'm really looking forward to that. So this year, it has been a lot about our focuses on economic growth and prosperity for the region. And that includes a lot of long-range planning. So if you hear us talk about various plans all the time, know that we are thinking in the long term on your behalf and thinking with foresight. But we're also looking for short-term solutions and your engagement in those solutions. And we've really made, I think, significant strides in advancing planning efforts throughout all of our communities, really to build a stronger foundation for the future. And it actually began with our Envision 2050 plan, which was endorsed by the NPO, or the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which meets monthly, in case anybody would like to attend a meeting. There's one next week. Without their endorsement of this, we wouldn't have a long-range plan for the region, of course, but also a great jumping-off space due to all of the engagement and effort that went into the creation of that plan, which helped us to create both new partnerships and focus on important next steps, which included leadership by Jessica Bullinger of the Greater Lowell Vision Zero Plan, and also included many people who are here this evening who participated in this process, which we greatly appreciate. That planning process really, I think, demonstrates both our dedication to a future that has safer, more connected communities, but we're also in the process of launching a data and safety dashboard soon, which will monitor efforts to achieve our plan goals like adding safe bicycling infrastructure and addressing some of our deadliest intersections across this region. So it's really a landmark, I would say, project, but also so much more to come. Anytime we're doing long-range planning, we're thinking about the future, but we're also planning for right now, and those are those short-term solutions. And that comes through in helping our communities to thrive. Particularly our commitment to local projects, it remains unwavering, of course. We do usually what you ask of us to do, which includes a whole range of things. And I would say that we've taken on some newer and more innovative projects in this last couple of years. For example, over the past year, we've completed several housing, open space and recreation plans, as well as helping our communities to achieve compliance with the MBTA Communities Act, or known as MBTA Communities in your community probably. And we helped actually 7 of our communities that have been striving to comply, and we want to give an applause to Lowell, Westford, and Tingsboro in particular for gaining approval from the state long before the required deadline. I just want to pause there to give a little applause for that, because it's no small feat to get very conversations around new growth and housing. And when we talk about prosperity tonight, it means that sometimes you have to embrace those challenges to drive really important change. And so we still have other communities that are working towards their goals, and we're here to help those communities like Billerica, Chelmsford, Dracut, and Tewksbury. And so some of those newer, more innovative projects arose also from our monthly meetings, which we've been convening with area managers since November of 22. That Northern Middlesex CEO group is what we call it affectionately. Their collaboration has actually been really instrumental, and also good support for staff to help us to identify shared priorities, increase our communications, and create new funding opportunities. These include projects like designing and facilitating a regional homelessness summit, providing more direct technical support to places like Westford and Pepperell, with various priority setting and action planning, and also further, deeper community engagement. And also, lastly, community efforts to help Dunstable to reimagine their Union School building, which has been the heart of Dunstable since 1895. And this slide actually demonstrates just how comprehensive our planning processes are, because even in some communities, like Chelmsford, we actually have assisted with so many different planning projects at once, simultaneously, through a bunch of different priorities that the town is striving to achieve, while they're also doing the strategic plans. They really like planning in Chelmsford, is the takeaway. But really thinking, I would say, constructively around housing, economic development, land use, conservation, recreation, and transportation too. And it would be not have been a complete year without a big office move. We really wanted to move, and we didn't really necessarily want to move. But moving was a big part of the last year. And, doing that meant leaving behind 40 Church Street. For those of you who were there, you may have remembered the space. We kind of outgrown it, and it maybe it outgrew us too. And we were lucky enough to find an absolutely gorgeous new office space at Wanalancet Mills. And honestly, with the addition of new staff members and reorganizing our agency, we're now better positioned to serve our communities with both purpose and efficiency. We're aiming to be a more resilient organization altogether, and we're nearing the completion, actually, of the strategic planning process ourselves, which will become a blueprint that can guide us in aligning our efforts and making the best use of our resources. Additionally, this milestone represents that we've successfully grown and diversified our funding resources and are continuing to pave the way for more sustainable growth for the organization. Because with that stronger foundation, we are advocating for our region at all levels. That's a rainbow, a double rainbow that I saw after one of our just emblematic, in my opinion, of where this organization is. Actually, that day I saw 2 double rainbows, one in Chelmsford and one in Brookline, where I live. So it's just a double rainbow kind of day. And it brings me nothing more than sunshine and rainbows, I guess, to tell you that the bright spot is advocating for this region. And, part of that is building off of our great foundation that I just told you all about. Because we want to make sure that we have all the resources we need to ensure that our region continues to succeed and to meet both our communities, various communities, very different communities' expectations and the region's expectations. We love being your advocate, working with state and federal partners, nonprofit organizations, business partners, allied organizations, and our other regional planning organizations and partners across the Commonwealth. It's been a lot of fun because when we engage more deeply with our communities, we all thrive. NMCOG is leading. We kicked off the at-home and Greater Lowell Regional Housing Strategy, and as you heard, we'll soon be launching the SEDS project, a comprehensive economic development strategy for Greater Lowell. And these are long-range plans, as I've said, but they're also commitments to build a region where every resident and every business and anybody who visits has access to opportunity, and every community can keep on growing. Our staff team is committed to working with your communities in the region to deepen our engagement, sometimes literally, at festivals, at fairs, and then of course, your more traditional meeting rooms, like right here. So as we look ahead, NMCOG, our orientation is on preparing our region for the future, focusing on shared solutions, and building and investing in our relationships, because that's how we're going to succeed all together. So I want to express my deep gratitude to our leaders in this room, all of you, our very dedicated team, and everybody else who is helping us to serve our region better, and for laying the groundwork to getting ahead. Because as we continue the journey, we have a lot to carry forward, and it's all about the spirit of collaboration, of course, to work together. So whether you are in, and this is a beautiful slide that represents Kelly Lyman, the Deputy Director's artwork, in preparation for our open house. Why? Because while we had some absolutely beautiful maps, historical maps, and other images and photos from our prior office, we wanted to collaboratively as a team find ways to decorate the space. And so Kelly is an artist and a very creative person. She designed things. And as you can see, it's also a reflection of her heart and how she sees your communities. So whether you're in Billerica, Chelmsford, Dracut, Dunstable, Lowell, Pepperell, Tewksbury, Tingsboro, or Westford, we're one Greater Lowell region. So sticking with our theme of economic growth and prosperity, I will now welcome all of the panelists to the stage to join me up here, and sit down actually. And I will say thank you to everybody so much for being here tonight. I'll come back after the panel is done. Kelly.